Hi there, it's Mark, and welcome to Book Ramble. And this one is about the artist Ralph Miller. Wonderful find. So, I love art. I am an artist myself, and I've long debated whether I should show any of previous works I've done, but here's just a few samples. So I was going to do a game called By Mountains and Sea. It was a game design about World War II, a place called Novorossiysk. There's also potentially going to be one on the French Revolution, or the wars occasioned by such. And this was going to be a map. And if you see down the bottom left-hand corner, there's an image there made of Louis the 16th. That's me. I do like pictures of ships. This one is actually not high resolution. It was just done as an idea of the era in which I wrote books about. This is a clipper I did. It was actually a commission for Friends of Tall Ships. And this is just two old fellas that was going to be used, or was used as a masthead for one of my other channels with Steve. Two old salts, we call it. But this is not about me. This is about this guy, Ralph Miller. I stumbled across this book in a thrift shop. And it's really about his artwork. And I've got to work out how I'm going to start showing you the pictures that do justice to them. I just love that style. Washes, pen and inks. I knew nothing about him. And this is the beauty of this kind of portfolio book. Brian Miller, I'm assuming, is linked to Ralph Miller. Art is a personal journey, and either doing it yourself or appreciating it or loving what other people do. This was a guy who tragically died young. So who was Ralph Miller? He lived on the South Island of New Zealand and he died in 1956. He was born in 1918, so he wasn't old. 37 years. His father or his family had a signwriting business, so he was steeped into doing art. He taught himself. He very quickly started getting signwriting commissions and doing cards, and I'm going to try and find stuff. Well, let's start with one of his forebears, Oswell. Look at that. Beautiful. And what's interesting about art is that some things will appeal to you, other things will not. So that kind of artwork, it may appeal or it may not. It's down to you how you respond to the art. Miller, as a family, had studios in which they were doing art. The old style 1950s art. Look at that. Just love that kind of artwork, that era. There he is, Ralph Miller, walking along. They had style back then. He also did these beautiful stick-out cards. I mean, look at that. It just stands up from the page. So, for the limited ability to print and do things, he was really creative. But the war came along, and like a lot of New Zealanders, he joined up and then ended up in the Pacific Islands. And as he was just sat there, he started doing these studies, quick chalk drawings, as he was bored. Life away from home. It's just beautiful, as just little memories, as it's called, moments in time, that soon go, soon forgotten. Really quite dramatic pieces of artwork that portray a side of war that's often overlooked because we've become used to fast editing of movies. Anybody who's ever served in the forces will tell you it's 90% boredom, 10% terror. That's what Spike Milligan said. So that generation, those that served and sacrificed their lives, found themselves in parts of the world that they would never ordinarily have been to, And if they managed to survive, they could recount what it was like. And that's the beauty of these and the power of them when you come across something like this. It's beautifully made. It's full colour. It's heavy. You go through this. And then, of course, the war ended. He came back for a wee while and he started to draw specific pictures back in New Zealand. They're very much of their time. They are, I guess, a ready reckoner that you can dip into. And I'm trying to find images as I'm talking. That one I love. I love that style of art. That's him. It's great. Ralph Miller. I'm going to find some pictures. There's one specifically that... There it is. As soon as I saw it, it stood out. How powerful that image is. There's movement. There's a sense of scene. There's emotion. You can just imagine what it would have been like in that crowd. We have lost a style that was very prevalent as I was growing up, 50s and 60s, that I would love to go back to. Just the simplisticness of it. So what he would do, he would go out into crowd scenes with his pastels and his crayons, his inks, his washes, and he will do quick studies. Now, I could sit down and do one myself, but I couldn't do it like he would have done, with just the flow of the line. I mean, that's an innate gift, which we are lucky that somebody kept record of his work. And I know for a fact that a lot of people who do artwork will throw them away, not keep them. I went down the route of doing fine art, and then I got enamoured by the computers online, which is what you've seen of my work. It's done what's called vector art online. But my computer, about 5 years ago, fried. I lost everything. I hadn't invested in a Z drive to keep everything. I do now. Okay, they come and go, that they were meaningful to me. What you see of what I've just managed to keep. And I don't know, it's just so pleasing that we have records of all of this. So whenever I go out, I'm always on the lookout for these beautiful coffee table books with real meaning. About this fella's ability in his life to produce such wonderful pieces of work. Very powerful, beautiful studies. So, ralphmiller.co.nz, kudos to you for keeping this fella's work alive. And I'm always fascinated by how many other people are out there that I'm not aware of that have had books like this done in all countries. There'd be more than I think we'd realise. We can't keep track of everyone. But there are artists out there that have produced work sublime and we will never know about them. And the artworks that we have, not all of them are great, but because they're famous people, or they've became famous, or we just managed to keep them, are. And again, this perhaps will not appeal to anybody who doesn't live in New Zealand. But for those who do, and have had family members go through the war, and of course it wasn't just Kiwis, this is the US Navy. They hold a lot of meaning. So let's not extol the book as being precious, my precious. No, but it is a beautiful, worthy book. Quite heavy, as I said. Beautifully illustrated. So glad I found it. $12 from a thrift shop. Moments in Time, Ralph Miller. I wonder if you've got any books like this. If you have, or you know of any, please comment. I'd love to know. Or anyone you could recommend that perhaps I could go out and try and find. Ta-ta for now.